The National Reptile, the North American Reptile Breeders Conference, Tinley
NARBC.
Park. We just got back. What a weekend! What a weekend!
Yeah,
What a bunch of videos that have come out to start drama with Morph Market.
Yeah, we saw the bean and everything. It was crazy.
Yes, welcome back to the Reptiles with Drama.
Uh-oh.
All right, before we get started, hit like, hit subscribe, share with your reptile-loving friends. Listen, so we did not go to Tinley Park.
No, yeah, we did. What are you talking about?
I did not go there.
I was literally there.
What were you doing?
What was I doing?
What was he doing? He wasn't doing
He was looking at men.
He was looking at
No.
me. Actually,
No.
I can tell you exactly what Eric did this weekend. I'm not gonna do it. But I can tell you exactly
That's
what it is.
all right. I was looking at the bean the entire fucking weekend.
Actually, too much context. All right.
Yeah.
But no, dude. So, and guess what? This is the first Tinley that I did not get FOMO, because I had one hell of a weekend too.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Me
Let's
too,
go,
man.
dude.
Me too.
Fuck Tinley.
What the-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, high five better, man. That was
All right.
awkward.
Sorry.
Mine was fine, dude.
Yeah.
Well, you know how I am with fucking like shit
Whatever,
like that.
dude.
Anyways,
Anyway.
but yeah, dude. So no, we didn't go to Tinley this time. I honestly, I haven't really seen much come out from it or anything like that. Nothing on anybody's stories was like super impressive. Again,
I
wasn't
haven't
at the
seen
show.
anything about it.
But something that super interesting that did happen was right before Tinley, a bunch of drama came out towards Morph Market from a couple of people. We're going to talk about it today. That would be Small Town Exotics, the dude from Snakes and the Fat Man, and then we're going to talk a little bit about something that happened on the Trap Talk podcast, the Dave Levinson portion of it, where he called it Protect Our Balls. So there's going to be a little bit of ball python talk. But this is what's going on. Morph Market recently let out a thing where sellers can get verification badges. Okay? And when you hear that, what do you think? You think like, oh, like that's cool.
As a customer. Or just in
like
general?
as
In
a
general,
seller.
as a seller.
As a seller, are you like, oh, whatever, like a verification
Yep.
badge?
Yep. I
Fine?
agree. Yep. I
Now,
don't.
if you're a buyer, how would you guys feel about a seller having a verification badge? Does
I
that
like
make
it.
you feel more secure?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because
At
it
least face value.
it means it depends on like the checkmark has to have a definition. It's not just a look. If the definition of it makes it to where I have a better experience and I could feel safer, then yeah, every time I see it, I'm going to feel better about the check.
And if I'm not mistaken, the check mark is also like a shipping thing.
So we're gonna get
Yeah,
so
we're gonna get
the
there.
bulk of what we're gonna talk about is the shipping related. After we speak about the shipping related, I'm gonna actually define what it means to be a verified seller. Okay.
Yeah.
The thing that stuck out to me, and I remember when I got the notification that I can add that to my store. The thing that stuck out to me was a very specific section when you're accepting the terms is that you have to use Morph Market shipping. If you are accepting this to get verified, you're in essence you're forced to use Morph Market
You're
shipping.
agreeing to.
Yeah. But obviously, if they find out that you don't, because all of that stuff is trackable, then your verification is gone. I don't know if it's like a thing where you can lose your account and everything because of like, going against terms. But that's the thing. So obviously people were going to have issues with that because that brings into the question of, are you strong arming the other shipping companies? Stuff like that. Or if I don't want to use your company and I don't want to use the Morph shipping, can I use a different company? Is that going to, so I decide not to be verified on your platform, is that going to give me issues now? So Small Town and Chris Eden from Snakes and the Fat Man, they kind of let out their own videos of why they don't want to do that. So a note that I have here, something that Small Town Exotic says is he's complaining that Morph Market was for high-end, like animals, and now it's like pet grade. Okay? He's upset about this green verification badge and that it's a play that forces you to use Morph Market shipping. He says that most of his sales are specifically from Husbandry Pro, so he'll take like his social media following and send them to like funnel it down to like, hey, if you want to purchase an animal from me, you can check this out on Husbandry Pro.
Is that like a? I don't know what Husbandry Pro is.
From
is
what
that just like
I thought that was
like a link tree.
No,
kind of
I
thing?
thought so. Husbandry Pro, I thought was like a place where you can put like where you could track your animal's care, the lineages, and you could link like I paired this
That's
with
cool.
that, and then these are the clutches, and you could probably put babies
So
up
it's kind
there.
of like a social media thing.
It's more of like
It's like a LinkedIn.
No. It's a place where you can put your own data, where you can keep records.
Yeah,
that's
that's
what
what
it
I'm
is.
looking at. That's
pretty
Records.
cool. I didn't know that.
But I guess you can also have the animals that you have for sale on there, and then you could link to that.
Gotcha.
He specifically says Morph Market, the green badge thing is an abuse of power. And, he's saying that he, says that you should find your own way instead of putting all of your eggs in one basket, which is Morph Market, which, he says to diversify and have multiple areas of sales.
Mm-hmm.
How do you guys feel about, like, this so far?
Okay, so I think like he does have a good point, but I don't think his point vilifies Morph Market.
Okay.
So like because the check mark, right? You get check marked, you have to use their shipping, but it's like what every other social media account does. That's what Instagram does. That's what everybody else does. Why? Because your goal as a company is to keep people in your product in your space.
Yeah, for as
Right?
long as possible.
Exactly.
It's kind of like why Meta platforms, when you start putting like YouTube links, they'll start shitting
Exactly.
your yeah.
Exactly. And it's not whether it's like you think is right or not. That's not the point. The point is those are the rules that you got to play by. And that's what makes sense for them. So like he said that it was for high-end stuff. Now it's for pet grade. There must be a reason for that. Just like Instagram, for example, used to be only for photos. And then now they push more video. Like it doesn't matter what it used to be. What matters is like they went this direction because of something very specific. Whether it brings in more people, whether it brings in better people, whether it brings in more money. Like there are reasons for those things. It's not like Morph Market changed for no reason. Like these are business people that see all their analytics behind the scenes and have to make decisions based on that.
Yeah.
So it's like when Instagram started doing videos, the photographers were angry and saying like, no, this is what Instagram is. This is how I started. And now those photographers are gone, don't exist, and that's fine. They can put their photos somewhere else, but Instagram evolved to what it is now. So same thing with Morph Market. It used to be high-end stuff, but it's moving towards pet keeping or whatever.
It's just
it
moving
is.
with the market.
It's just
Especially with
evolving.
reptiles.
It's evolving into something, and if you don't evolve with it, then you get left behind, and you gotta go and do something else like he is, and that's also fine.
Yeah. Eric?
I'm kind of on the same boat. Him or the other guy. What I kind of got out of all that, they were pretty, angry about the monopolization that Morph Market keeps kind of like stirring up. But then when I was looking at it, it was like, didn't everybody have the same issue when they started putting up all the wild caught stuff and like when they started to crack down on like your listings and stuff? I think it's just another one of those complaints. And like you guys were saying, it's just like a shifting kind of like trend that the business is following, especially with reptiles. Within one day, the market can change completely. So it's like, it's not really out of their wheelhouse to change that kind of stuff. And I just think that the only real thing I can kind of take away from them being mad, I can probably understand if they wouldn't want to kind of like abide by the Morph Market shipping for whatever reasons they have. But because they would have to go by those Morph Market shipping terms to be verified, it's like, I get that.
Yeah. So,
But,
I agree 100% that it's like, it's like a free market. Like, you're free to do whatever you want. And straight up, like, these are stuff that they're saying is things that a lot of people are saying behind closed doors, but they don't really have the balls to say it on social media. So I'll applaud them at least that far.
100%.
That they can definitely say it. But, like, also, like, dude, like, in order to scale something like that, like a marketplace, you have to participate in the attention economy.
Yep.
You have to participate in understanding that you need to do what you have to do to get as much eyes on your product. And if, like the scare was that, Morph Market is going to turn into another Amazon, right? But if that is the reality, I mean, it's just natural where they're
Why
gonna
is that
need to.
scary?
I think it's just about look at what Amazon did to a bunch of small businesses. Put a lot of small businesses out of business.
100%. But
Yeah.
if it is, wouldn't you want to ride the wave?
Now this is the thing. And then what did the other small businesses do? They sell their product directly through Amazon now.
Exactly.
And so they have to adjust. So
Exactly.
that was like my kind of like I mean I see the concern, but I don't 100% agree with like just being
scared.
off of Morph Market like
Yeah.
I feel like
no.
this will all like
Yeah.
blow over after
It's
a
like-
few months.
Yeah, it's I mean 100%.
Yeah.
But it's like what is the biggest selling website for reptiles?
Morph Market.
Morph Market.
Where's the most reptile buyers at?
Morph Market.
Online, that is, yeah.
Yeah.
Period.
It's the hub already.
If you have reptiles, you want to be on Morph Market.
Yeah.
Period.
Like Marketplace. That's the only one. I mean, Fauna, like, dude, I think,
Dead.
like, yeah, Fauna,
Fauna's-
they changed the way that they look, and I think the guy that owns it was, like, complaining, like, yo, if you guys don't patronize my site, like, I'm just going to take it down. And everybody's like,
Yeah,
Okay.
bro, like the Egyptians used it. Like
Yeah.
that thing's ancient.
Yeah,
bro. Ancient as hell. But like that is the place. As a business owner, that is the place. So you want to
Yeah.
be there, and then you want the check mark. Those are the rules. You follow it. Like I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
that's just business, bro.
Yeah.
If I'm a business owner, I'm not going to. Like, let's say I have a business selling avocados, right?
Uh-huh.
And then you have a business selling avocados. I'm not going to help you.
okay,
We're competition.
okay.
And I'm gonna do everything I can so that my customers don't go to you; they come to me.
Yeah.
That's
they buy your
competition.
avocados.
Exactly. So if there is another company doing this, the selling or whatever it is, dude, you're in competition, buddy.
Yeah, Mad
That's-
Bio avocados.
Welcome to America.
Yeah.
That's what this is.
So now something that he did say that he does is that he runs ads.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing that I specifically wrote this down because I was like, yo, Meta doesn't allow animal sales. Like,
Yeah.
how does that function with their ads?
Yeah.
You know, like, because even that is kind of like putting your eggs in a basket that can easily be taken away from
Most
you.
likely, yeah.
Yeah. He also plugged Palm Street, which we've spoken a lot about
Yeah.
recently. It's kind of like the hot topic. They are at, dude, this is so crazy, bro. They're at Tinley. Palm Street Reptile site has gotten so big. They're at Tinley to promote
saw
Palm
that.
Street.
Yeah.
And you know who's on it? Tyler from Quality Bred Exotics. They had an iPad
Yeah.
there with him
Oh,
live streaming.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, so shout out to Tyler
Go
from
Tyler,
Quality
bro.
Bred. Like
Hell
he's
yeah.
fucking killing it. He's a one of our members here, and he's living his dream. He said that he's gonna go to the next Tinley because he has an employee.
That's
Look at
crazy.
that,
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah, fire.
Good for him, man. He breeds frogs.
Oh, frogs are the move apparently.
Yeah,
I
dude.
mean, a lot of
no,
people are
a
moving
lot of this
frogs.
shit,
Yeah.
a lot of this shit, and I don't mean it in a bad way because I mean it's the nature of the game. But a lot of this stuff very conveniently came out this weekend from Tinley.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like the pot seemed to have wanted to be started, at least from my.
I feel like the big
point of
shows,
view.
every big show kind of brings out a new update to the
Yeah.
way
Yeah.
things work.
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
Yeah, because everybody's
Um,
pushing something.
Yeah. So then there's the Morph Monopoly video, the Chris Eaton video, where he doesn't like Morph Market. He has a bad relationship with Darian, it seems.
Why?
He talks. Why does he have a bad relationship? I guess he had him on the podcast, and then there's friction after that, or something like that. He talks about the shipping push for Morph Market. And Morph Market trying to force other companies out with their current prices. He talks about the fairness of forcing people the unfairness of forcing people that have been Morph Market patrons for years, and now it's kind of like a thing where those people have to compete with newer sellers that have this verification badge. Like you can be like, this is my first clutch, but I'm verified. But then
Yeah.
let's say I don't want to be use Morph Market shipping. I'm not going to be verified, but I've been on the platform for years. So he said that that's like unfair. Another thing that has been like in the zeitgeist of this stuff is that conversations about Daring saying that he's just trying to supposedly kill other shipping companies. And then he talks about loyalty versus scaling, saying that he's saying that staying loyal to your shipping line or keeping your overhead low with shipping prices and green. loyalty versus. I forgot what I wrote here. I'm so sorry, guys. I think what
It's
I was
a long list.
Yeah, sorry. I think what I was trying to say is like, how do you value this, right? So you have loyalty versus scaling. Like, if you're trying to scale your business, like, where does your loyalty lie? You know, because at one point, like, I could say, yeah, I'm gonna be loyal to go. Oh, even perfect example. I use Morph Market shipping, because it's fucking cheap. I have my own personal FedEx account. And when my FedEx rep calls me every month and he's like, why aren't you using your account, your service? I'm like, dude, because you can't even give me what they're already giving me.
Yeah.
And I'm using FedEx, but through them.
Yeah.
And if you can't give me that price, which you're not, because I'm not shipping to their quote unquote quantity, like, I'm just going to use the stuff through there. So it's just like, what are you supposed to do? You're just supposed to be loyal and spend more money and then have issues scaling your business. Like, what exactly are you supposed to do there? You know, business is hard right now, especially when we're talking about selling these reptiles. The market's crazy.
And the loyalty thing is like, the loyalty thing to me doesn't make sense, because like, if you have a business, like, you're doing business. Business is not exactly about loyalty. Whenever you're trying to make money, like, Morph Market is a business, but so are you. Yeah, you're doing business. Business is money. Whichever way is better and it saves you the most money is the route to take. It's not about loyalty. It's like, again, social media, because that's what I'm into. It's like being loyal to MySpace.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? You're loyal to MySpace. MySpace died. Now everybody's on Instagram. And then you got left behind, and it's like, but I've been doing this longer. It doesn't matter. Because let's say you've been doing this a lot longer than most people, but then a new guy comes in like Herp and outperforms you. That's Herp, bro. Like, that the new kid might outperform you in a lot of things. Might outperform you in sales and whatever it is. Ain't got a check mark. It's not about how long you've been using it. It's not about loyalty. It's about business. This is, I don't think people in the reptile community really understand business.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
I think a lot of people have issues balancing the commodity section, because they're like, on one side, they're like, yo, I got to make this money selling these reptiles. But then they're like, oh, but when we're talking about actual business and companies trying to take over something else and actual business practices of like trying to grow your shit and outcompete, like, it's just like, but then you have a problem because we're supposed to be a community.
Yeah, and it's like, no, like, if you're doing business, that side is business.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, loyalty and all that, like, I'm doing business.
Yeah.
If you have a blue tongue skink that you're trying to sell to me for $1,000 and Tiki said they'll sell it to me for $800, I'm sorry, Yoshii, I'm going to Tiki's.
No, I get you. Look, I have a note here that if you guys know where this reference is from, high five to you, but I wrote here, the power of the sun in the palm of my hands. Do you know where that's from?
Yes.
Yeah, Spider-Man 2. And that's Darian with the state of your business.
That's funny as well.
Oh my
You know what
god.
this is?
Oh, I'll edit that. I can edit
Yeah, okay.
him
You know what this is? This is just another prime example of the if it ain't broke, don't fix it, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Like, versing the world
Like,
of
the
change.
Thing is, and the thing is, like, if you have a problem with it, compete. That's what this is. Business.
That's what business
You're
is.
against it, compete. What's up? Well, who got it?
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah, so
That's the issue, is that nobody has it. Nobody has what Darian has. And is it unfair? Maybe. But welcome to business.
yeah, now what are you going to do to stand out and compete and try to fight back, you know?
That's the fun part, bro. Walgreens and CVS, bro. Them motherfuckers be having buildings right across each other, bro.
Actually, yeah.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
And whenever you see their
You know what's
signs, they're
crazy?
competing with one another
You know
all
that,
the time.
but you know why they do that?
Why?
So there is, I forget if it was a theory or this is an actual reason why fast food restaurants do that. Because when you're driving home, the question does not become, do I want fast food? If you have a Wendy's, a McDonald's, and then a Burger King down the road,
one do I want?
the question becomes, which one do I want? Not do I want fast food? So your mind at that point is almost made up and you're just picking a restaurant to go to. So having the CVS and the Walgreens is, even though they're in competition with each other, it like almost doubles their sales just out of like having something else there right around the corner. So I write here that Chris Eden is blaming people for not saying anything, and then he brings politics into it, saying that it's Darian's liberal agenda and he's a social justice warrior. We need to get over this shit.
Yeah,
we need to get past this.
No, because that, like, you're bringing politics into business. So, like, he's just doing regular business shit.
Look, I could hear somebody like talking facts, and the second that they say some shit like that, I'm like, okay, so you're crying now.
Yeah.
Like that's just what's happening right now.
Yeah, because bro, you're bringing politics into business. What Darian is doing is business. Yeah. He's not doing anything illegal. He's not putting out an agenda. He is using his platform that he purchased, his business, and he's making a product.
Yeah.
And he's also making it to where his product is the one used. That is business. That is not...
It's crazy. Yeah.
That is not right or left. That is business. Straight up business.
Not to them.
Yeah, he tells Darian to stop acting like a dick when not necessary, grow balls and publicly voice your opinion. He's saying people need to grow balls and publicly voice your opinion, and that's what we're doing now.
100%.
Yeah, so now when I wrote down my notes, something that I was saying is that, like, obviously you can start your own platform. Mm-hmm. You know, you can try your best to make your own website, try your best to do this and do that. The reality is that if you're starting your website today and you're trying to sell reptiles, you more than likely will never be able to compete with Morph Market. Mm-hmm. And why is that? Because of the way that these online platforms work, the way that Google works. Mm-hmm. You know, it's through SEO, search engine optimization. You know, so even if you have your website, let's say, and you have everything with keywords up to the T, everything is perfect, you're writing blogs every week, the problem is that Morph Market has been a platform for so long and more people are on it, so visibility is up, Google's going to reference that. Mm-hmm. Then you have the fact that people are uploading products, and even though they might not be formatting photos and their product names correctly, but just the fact that there's more information on Morph Market and more people are uploading that, now that gives Morph Market more power of the domain, you know. And even like the work that I did with another company that I had worked with and stuff like that, it's like, dude, like, and then if you stop doing that and if you don't do it correctly, your shit just falls off. So, you know, like, it's one of those things where it's just like, dude, it benefits you honestly at least to have a presence on the platform regardless. I don't think that you as a seller should just leave Morph Market at this time in a stance to be anti-Morph Market. I think that regardless, you need some kind of presence.
Especially, like, some of the people talking, like, they already have a business and like, people know who they are. If you're just starting or, like, you're a medium seller or whatever, that person's leaving because they can sell through Facebook or whatever it is. You might not be able to. Yeah. And it's good that you make money like that. If that works for you, that's great. But to inspire people to leave and try something else, even if they lose money, I don't think that's right. I think, well, not that it's not right. You do whatever the fuck you want. You're a grown-ass man. But, like, if I owned that type of business, I wouldn't leave because everybody else is leaving. In fact, I'd stay even longer because I'm trying to make money. I don't have the people on Facebook, Instagram, or ads. What I'm doing already works.
Yeah.
And what's the issue with shipping with Morph Market? Why are they against that?
Okay, so this is like, we're about to get into the red line shipping one. So after, so Small Town, okay, Tinley weekend is coming up. Small Town releases this video. Chris Eden releases his video, and then Chris Eden, Snakes and the Fat Man, does a podcast with the guy from Red Line Shipping, which they have their own podcast that they do with Brian Cusco at Tinley. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm saying. Like, all this shit is just, it's lining up. You know, I was like, when it started coming out, I was like, I need to figure this out.
Is this like the MCU? Is this like
no.
It's a straight line.
Yeah,
straight line.
There's no multiverse here. No. This is going in one direction. So then we talk about this shipping stuff, right? The big concern with these shipping companies has been this, okay? Darian is trying to force other companies out of business. Okay. That's what people are saying, that, like, they've heard Darian say directly to them. Like, Darian has supposedly, allegedly, been on phone calls with the owners of the other shipping companies and been like, no, my goal is to get you out of business.
Why?
So, it's to get the power. To get the power of the domain. So right now, they're at 72% discount. They're making... If they're making money, it's pennies on the dollar. They might even be losing money on these shipments, right? So then Redline gets out of business.
So just out of power, he wants to take them out?
Redline gets out of business. Reptiles to You get out of business. Reptiles Express gets out of business. Ship Your Reptiles gets out of business. And then what happens? Then they raise the percent. Then they're like, no more 72% discount. That's when he makes money. There's a there's something that the guy from Redline specifically calls it. He calls it a loss leader promo. And I looked at what it was. It says is that it's a pricing strategy where a product is sold at a price below its market cost to stimulate other sales or more profitable goods or services. He says that he thinks that they are doing that to put other shipping lines out of business, and then he will raise prices. So that is what is the theory of what's going on.
And what if? What are you gonna do? Like.
That's I mean,
he's playing the business game. And
yeah,
I think it's that he's playing the business game. I think that it's
he's just
good
choosing
for,
like a really sweaty strategy.
Yeah, I think that it's good for people to be privy of what's going on.
Yeah.
And I'm not. How do you say? Like I'm not. I have no affiliation. I have no affiliation to Morph Market. I have no affiliation to any of these other shipping companies. So what am I going to do as somebody that's frankly having trouble competing in the market? Online sales are a little different. I'm going to a lot more Repticons and selling a lot more physically in person. And the stuff that I'm shipping, I'm like, dude, like I need to make sure that I'm not losing money on the stuff that I'm doing. I have no choice but to go with who is offering me the best price.
Yep.
And that's unfortunately the reality of so many people. So then unless you're one of the bigger guys that it's just like, yo, I can lose a little bit of money on shipping to stay loyal to the company that I'm with. And then it's just like, dude, like all fucking power to you. You probably should do that to remain in relationships. Something that the guy from Redline does say is he does feel like, honestly, he does feel like personally hurt to a certain extent, it seems, because like some of these people that he's helped over the years that he's developed good relationships with, like he lost them to Morph Market shipping, and he's just like, oh, it kind of sucks that, so I feel for that. But then the reality is that if I ship 10 packages a year and you ship 100 packages a year, and you hit up one of these other reptile shipping companies, they're going to offer you a better price than they probably offer me because you ship more quantity than me. So it's just like, then why do I have to be loyal to you? If you want to do kind of what Darian's doing, where it's just like, yo, like we're going to try to get the most fucking quantity of these animals out, then it's just like, dude, like you're not going to benefit me, the little guy. I have to go with who's going to benefit the little guy. And right now, the little guy needs to watch his bottom dollar. So I need to go with a % discount. Bars.
Damn.
Sorry.
And that's the side, because it is sad. It is sad that you thought people were loyal to you. But again, business is not about friendship.
Yeah.
It's just not. Like, you got to compete. And if you can't compete with the monster, then there's an issue. And that sucks. That really fucking sucks. But that's the name of the game. If he wants them out, he has he wants all the power or whatever. Maybe he wants the power to do good. Maybe he wants the power to do bad, whatever that is. But like, he literally is playing his cards. In the business game, you have to play the cards back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's why I feel like it's just like he's playing the game without thinking about the courtesies that people give each other, like the unwritten rules and like the loyalties. He's like, damn,
he doesn't.
That's how everybody feels right now.
He doesn't even care if people just go out of business that he doesn't like or they don't want to support him. He wants to control the whole thing.
Yeah.
And like, bro, those are shipping companies. This man has multiple other companies. Like, he can play the game. Yeah. Like,
I do think that there is some kind of fear giving a single person so much power in the industry. But it's just like, okay, we have two options. Obviously, one option is good, where it's just like, yeah, like you've made some noise, so we could talk about it. And I mean, the three of us are talking about it, and this is kind of the point of it, is to have these conversations, but also like, now what is your action? Yeah. You can't just get loud and then just sit back. Now it's like, okay, get loud, get people aware. Now what are you going to do so this can get combated? Do I think that Darian goes on Facebook and purposely stirs some drama to get some kind of attention? Yeah, I think he probably does that some of the time, 100%. And it fucking works clearly, but also like, dude, this is the state of the world, bro. And now I have no affiliation to any shipping companies, but if you do want to be affiliated with this podcast, send us an email. we're talking about sponsors. We need more support on this podcast. Speaking of support, a great way to support the podcast is by becoming a member. You can head over to modernreptileshop.com to purchase the merch. But I think that, probably becoming a member is the easiest way to help us out. But yes, we are looking for more sponsors. So if you want us to be affiliated and to swing a certain way, we can be sold.
Swing a certain way, bro.
Oh, we're swinging.
Oh shit!
We'll be talking about shit about Morph Market in no time. Right amount of money, I'm in.
Yeah. What if we got sponsored by US Arc?
Nah, never mind. I'm out.
Yeah, man. So that's pretty much the majority of what's going on with these shipping lines. Okay. You guys don't really sell reptiles. I mean, you sell reptiles at the Repticon shows with me.
I'm just a humble seller.
Yeah, for
Nothing
me,
more,
it's
nothing
just
less.
one of those things where it's just like, mind you, my shipping guy was going to, my FedEx rep was going to offer me better prices than what I was shipping things for before Morph shipping. Right, so I was gonna get steep discounts just because I was like, "Yo, like these are the rates that I'm getting. You either do better or I'm gonna go with somebody else." But then Morph shipping came out and they were like, "Dude, it's fucking 72%." I was like, "Give it to me, dude. I could send a package to California for like $40, dude. I'm gonna fucking take it."
Yeah.
You know how much that shit costs? That shit can cost like $150. You know, like what am I supposed to do, bro?
$150 to $40.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
Mind you, those aren't
crazy.
exact numbers. I am Cuban. I am exaggerated.
No,
but
like,
it could be like that.
yeah.
Sometimes it's like $112, and then I'm actually paying like $35-$40.
That's
You know,
insane.
I used Morph Market shipping to send Christmas gifts last year. To send it to my father, it was cheaper for me to use Morph Market shipping than to go to USPS.
Wow.
That man knows what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Anyways, now Tinley.
It's time to evolve.
Yeah, Tinley was great. I was there apparently.
Oh yeah. We were
Another thing that happened coincidentally for this weekend is the Protect Our Balls section of the Trap Talk podcast that Dave Levinson
Are
did.
they coming for their balls?
Something like that. No, the Protect Our Balls, it's actually a play on a Joe Rogan podcast that he does with three comedian friends, Ari Shaffir, Mark Normand, and Shane Gillis, that they call Protect Our Parks, because when they all started doing that podcast together, they were trying to supposedly protect like a specific park that they were trying to knock down, a national park. But anyways,
Okay.
so yes, Dave Levinson, I am supposed to be doing a podcast with him about, different things politically going on in the reptile world.
Repti-politics.
Yeah, Repti-politics.
Reptitics.
So, with this one, they do talk about the verification badge. The reason why I had sent it to you guys was a couple of things. One, because of something that they speak about the Southeast Reptile Expo, and then also something that they spoke about when it came to these verification badges. And something that they spoke about with these verification badges is something that reminded me a couple years ago when they were trying to do the push for people to support US Art. Right? And this is the thing when they were starting, they started, like, a lot of people started posting like, oh, if you don't support US Arc, you shouldn't buy from people. And then they started like trying to like cancel people that didn't that weren't members of US Arc. So then the membership started going up. So then a little bit of that conversation that they had on that podcast was, oh, what if Morph Market could do that? What if Morph Market could do a thing where it's just like gives you a badge that says US Arc supporter, or something that goes on your profile that like makes you really stand out? How do you guys feel about something like that? Do you think that it's like, all right, dude, like fucking, like not everybody needs to support this thing, or?
Oh yeah, I don't think everybody needs to support that thing. It's up to whoever the fuck wants to do it or not. But it's also like Darian's business, and the community has a say on it. You either are a part of it or you're not. And if the numbers aren't there, he's gonna go, fuck, this didn't work. So it's like there's ways in which you can control that. Like he'll make it happen, but if it doesn't come out the way he wanted, he will take it out. You know what I mean? Like, you want that badge so fucking bad to donate to US Arc. You don't have to donate to US Arc through Morph Market.
Yeah, oh, look at that.
Like if you stay on the outskirts and it doesn't work, he's gonna go, "Alright, this is bullshit. Take it out." Like, and if everybody joins it, then it worked.
All right.
Plain and simple, it worked.
I don't really
And
I
that's
don't really
what's
think
gonna
it's
do
gonna
it.
have that big of an impact. Maybe when it first comes out, but I think things will just settle.
Yeah.
Because this
Apparently-
is all this. I'm just getting flashbacks from the wild caught bullshit that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Well, apparently, like the reason why they did specifically the verification badges was, and I think they said this on this specific podcast, that it was like there were so many people making accounts on Morph Market, but not making their first purchase.
Gotcha.
So they were trying to figure out a way to turn some of those people that are making just like ghost
Wait, like
accounts
purchases or like sales, like as a
Purchases. Yeah.
Like they're not going and they're not like using Morph Market to buy animals.
They're just looking.
Understood.
They're
through.
just looking, yeah. So they're just like,
Gotcha.
how do we turn these people into, numbers that actually make sense? That
Okay.
can be useful for, that stuff.
Hmm.
Now, a big part of this podcast in the beginning, they spoke about the Southeast Reptile Expo. Do you guys know what that is?
nope.
Yes. From listening.
Okay, so the Southeast Reptile Expo is Bob Vu's Reptile Expo, right? From what I remember, he started that expo not in protest of the Reptilian Nation Expo, but there was some
remember
kind of
vaguely about
something
that.
that happened between
Yes.
Bob Vu and the guy that does Reptilian
I
Nation.
remember.
So he's like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna make my own expo." I like the Reptilian Nation Expo. It's honestly the expo that I personally usually do the best in. But that was a baller ass move from Bob Vu. I like that is a one hell of a fucking.
It's all coming back to me now. I now remember.
It's
Yes.
one hell of a thing to try to do, especially because of the amount of money that it takes to do an expo.
That's Daytona.
No,
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 that's
no.
the
What
West
is it?
Palm one.
Reptilian Nation.
Oh, West Palm.
Yeah, that's the big one that they do in West Palm.
Hmm.
Yeah. Now, something that stuck out to me that I was not going to talk about because I had a conversation recently and I only had this conversation with one person. And then all of a sudden, within the last week, I've had this conversation with like 4 or 5 people that I'm not going to name. And then they kind of said something about it on the podcast. So now I'm like, all right, I'm going to just fucking talk about this. So apparently, they do not. This is the rumor, is that the people that do so Wayne Hills, the Daytona Expo, right? That venue does not want to continue doing reptile stuff
Really?
when Wayne Hill retires.
There's a lot of places doing that right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Right? So that's a thing that's going on right now. And then something that I noticed is that supposedly the next Southeast Reptile Expo is happening either the week before or the week after Daytona. So my thought process when I first heard that situation, I was like, oh, like I think Bob Vu's trying to drive traffic from all these other bigger shows. Like, is there going to be one that comes out before each Tinley, one that comes out before each Reptilian Nation, one that comes out before Daytona? And it's just like, will that cause friction from traffic from those other shows? So I have a little bit of concern because I usually honestly don't really make a lot of money at Daytona. I just kind of go to hang out and do the networking part of it, but then I was just like, because he had mentioned in that podcast that he's like, eventually Wayne Hill's going to retire. Eventually, supposedly they're not going to do any more reptile shows there. So it's just like when that stops, then at least there's a show that's established that's kind of like close in
To
the
kind of
southeast.
prevent the vacuum.
Yeah, and then it's just like you just go that way now,
Yeah.
which kind of cool, but kind of like, fuck, man, I don't want to go to Georgia.
Oh, it's in Georgia.
Yeah, it's in
shit.
Georgia.
Fuck.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to go to Georgia, but I'm just like,
far. That's far.
something that they did say about Daytona is like, oh, Daytona was fun when you're like a kid and like you're younger going to the show, but not then when you're an adult and you see how like ratchet it is there. It's just like, oh fuck, that's
Oh.
kind of
True.
yeah. So that was something that they spoke about in that podcast. Then they started speaking a little. They started talking about doing their ball python talk and whatever. This is something that I wanted to talk to you guys about. Somebody had said that there are more ball pythons being produced in captivity than there are ball pythons being born in the wild.
Oh. Yeah.
And so that made me think, I'm like, rather the remark that they made about it is that we have a better chance of popping out new genes in captivity than the wild. So I was like, so then why are we doing this importation still of them? That's the thought that I had. And then I also started remembering that a lot of these bigger breeders are, and this was just my like thought one day. I was just like, a lot of these bigger breeders, because I was thinking about the importation of like the wild caught ball pythons, and then I remember I was like, dude, a lot of bigger breeders since COVID have been doing a lot more exports to, like Mexico, Japan, Europe, stuff like these places to kind of like that are just starting their markets and stuff like that. And then I started realizing, I'm like, dude, that's kind of what the turtle people did. I remember how hard it was for me to get like turtle like morphs and shit like that, because like all of the big turtle breeders were shipping out all their stuff to like China and shit, and then it was just like, dude, like for me to be able to get one of these turtle morphs, I had to be super close with one of the people that had the highest stuff, and then it's just like I'm still paying a lot of fucking money, but then COVID happened. Around the time that COVID happened, I think that the Asian market for turtles kind of caught up. They were already breeding their own stuff. Turtles take a long time.
And
to
not
breed.
just that, but I think the CITES thing happened too.
Yeah. So it was a lot of that stuff happening.
All that stuff
right,
was like a perfect storm.
But again, like the big thing for me was like turtles take a long time to breed. Okay, ball pythons going to these markets, they're going to breed a lot faster. Those markets are going to establish themselves. Obviously, the big guys are always going to be here because they're the guys with the newer stuff, the high-end shit, whatever. And they're going to be able to send some of that stuff. But what happens when those other markets they're never going to catch up, but they're going to halt, and there's going to be less stuff going out. And then I realized how, like, the market here is starting to, like, just starting to stabilize post, like, the COVID boom. So I'm like, we're almost there at a place where we could start making some money. But then what happens if all those markets just like pause, and then all of those bigger breeders have to start selling their animals here again? And then I started to think to myself, I'm like, dude, like I think we're about to get into another like weird crash cycle with selling ball pythons.
What does that mean?
My concern is what happens first.
Okay.
Does our market stabilize and we can get back to a point where we can make some good money before the bigger breeders have to slow down sending things to the other countries? Or does that happen before we stabilize, and then it causes like breeders like me that are in like the mid to lower range? Does that cause more pressure on us and like force more of us out of business? Because a lot of that happened, man. A lot of it happened where it's just like people just can't fucking compete.
I think both of those things will happen.
I just don't have the business sense, so I'm kind of like...
I know people
don't know
that
where to
do
look at it.
exactly that with venomous and even crocodilians. And they're like the Darien of it, like pretty much almost the only ones doing it.
Because no one does that stuff.
Yeah, and they don't sell like within the U.S. a lot of times. And like a lot of the other people don't even exist. Like they're literally the only ones.
Yeah. Can you pull up the thing that I sent you on Instagram? Can you pull up Morph Market verification badge? Because I did say I was going to say exactly what it is.
Wait, what? How do I look that up?
Google Morph Market verification badge.
Sure.
All right. While he pulls that up, I'm going to showcase this.
I was curious to see what that was.
So this will be... Dude, Eric, your fucking algorithm is crazy. So the only thing that I've seen so far that impressed me at Tinley... Obviously, I wasn't there, but this did. While you're looking that up, Chuckey, if you want to just look over here a little bit. Look at this display. So I can't put the audio into this. You don't have to stop it. It's fine. But look at this setup. This is... how do you say this word?
Phylogeny.
Phylogeny reptilia. I always fuck it up. But look at his display, man. Look at how, like... When we're talking about like
they're selling animals.
Yeah,
okay.
We're talking about.
I just noticed what I'm looking at. That's fire.
Yeah, look at this fucking. And so what he's doing here is that he's showcasing an adult, right?
Okay.
He has the babies up there on top of that case. I think it is retics though. That is the one thing I'll say. But like I'm
Kinda
not
need that.
Yeah. Finding the right substrate is a paramount part of reptile keeping. And if you're looking for the best cocoa option, we recommend Cocoa to Go. Cocoa can be used for reptiles, amphibians, and even plants, so they're perfect for any kind of setup. So we make sure to use Cocoa to Go. Let them know that the Reptiles With Podcast sent you. So, buyer protection badge for sellers. What is a buyer protection badge? A Morph Market buyer protection badge is available for sellers who meet specific Morph Market standards. Sellers who participate in our buyer protection program have been vetted and met the requirements of Morph Market back protection. However, this does not mean that the seller who do not participate are any less trustworthy, etc. The sellers who qualify will benefit by placement of a buyer protection badge. They qualify for buyer protection. Sellers who meet the minimum qualification below quality for up to $500 worth of whatever the fuck. To maintain the status, you must meet the following. Your operation must be in the U.S. You need to be basic plus membership only. Stores must be active for at least a year. Must have completed at least 5 successful shipments using Morph Market shipping. Must have marked 5 animals sold to from Morph Market. Must have a minimal customer rating of 4.5 and agree to use Morph Market shipping and their terms. So actually, like, it's not even that fucking crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Now that I read all of that,
at all.
Yeah, because you're like you have to be there at least a year. So it's like, okay, well, you're kind of established. You're selling stuff through Morph Market, and you have to have a good rating.
Fine.
It's not. It's not that.
Actually,
crazy.
the one purchase I made on Morph Market was that. Like,
Yeah.
it had the whole thing ready and everything.
Yeah. So you just bought an animal from Morph Market. You got a water snake that came in.
Yeah.
How did did that make you want to buy an animal more? If somebody had that, would you feel like you wanted to buy an animal more?
I mean, the thing is, it's hard for me to have a different perspective because I already know how all this is. But if I were to think like just someone who's just looking for a pet online, of course. I mean, I would do that with anything else I buy. Yep. Like the time that I bought the PVCs from Dubia, of course I'm gonna check that freaking, like, it's for like customer safety. It makes you feel better.
Yeah,
and
like,
with a live animal, you'd probably 100% want to do that too.
Let's say you purchased through Morph Market before, and you purchase from a big company that you trust. Then you find an animal at another company that also has the badge. You're gonna relate because the big company has the badge, so this one is just as good.
Yeah.
So it's like.
And even if they don't have the badge, as a customer, I think you should also do your due diligence and look at the people you're buying from, because, you know, you can have the badge, but you could also be shit. Mm-hmm. So look at the reviews, look how long they've been in business, look at what they're having. And sometimes if they have their own website, check out the website too, because that's what I ended up doing because I've never heard of them. It's somebody from Ohio. Pretty cool guy. He works with a bunch of random stuff. Yeah. Go on his website, check out he's legit. And then you go back to Morph Market and look at, you know, how everything correlates. Like, it's the check mark. I'm not good at looking through Morph Market, so I don't know if he has the check mark or not. But I mean, as a customer, I think just have some more insight on what you're looking at, you know, because I also think that a lot of the stress that the sellers are going through is that they're not giving any, I guess, for lack of better words, they're not really giving a lot of trust to the buyer in terms of like them doing their due diligence and looking at sellers and seeing which one would work best for them, which I understand because of course they're just going through filters that could prohibit a sale, you know. But again, customers got a brain too, most of them. Yeah. So it's like you could.
No, I don't.
You know, a lot of people don't, but you know, I think it's from a buyer's perspective too. You just look at who you're selling from. Just don't just go off with the checks and stuff like that. I know they look really nice, they look really pretty, but look at the person. Like, look how long they've been there. Look at their reviews. Like, look at what they got. Like, you know, just do some research.
Yeah, even when you use Amazon, you do the same thing. I look at the reviews.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, dude.
You suck.
I never.
I always do.
Never look at reviews
for real
on Amazon.
I always do, and I feel like most people do.
I legitimately don't, dude.
Get on that shit.
I'll tell you what.
Well,
if it's not in the first like 3 items on Amazon, I'm more than likely not buying.
See, you're the customer that they're afraid of.
Yeah, but this is my thing. Amazon has like such a stress-free way of returning a product that I'm just like, dude, like, I'm gonna bring it here. If it doesn't look functional, if it's not functional the way that I need it, I send that bitch back.
And why is it bad that Morph Market is becoming that?
It's a lot harder to do that with an animal, though. That's the thing.
Is it though? Because all he's doing is the shipping. No, but like, all he's
if it's
harder.
if it's, I guess, yeah.
All he's doing is the shipping.
I get what you're saying.
Like the company has to deal with the rest, but he controls the shipping.
I do wonder now, like with all these changes happening in Morph Market, you know, Morph Market has their own auctions. I wonder if Morph Market now, dude, he has to do it because Palm Street is like killing it right now with reptiles, and it's only growing. Fucking having a table at Tinley Park and like really showing off like what they want to do within this community and where they want to be. Morph Market has to probably start.
Now you're giving him ideas. You're giving him ideas
he,
now.
He's not stupid. He has to be thinking about how can I do live stream auctions. And then I think to myself, how does, I worked for a reptile auction. I saw what it could potentially do to. I saw the clientele. Clientele's a little bit funky.
Why?
Who are you selling to? You don't know.
Not only that,
not
but
just that. That's
there
an
was
online
there
thing
was
in
a lot
general.
of people that are just like, oh, we have stores. And, we're able to get good product from you at a low price. There were a lot of people that were like, I'm trying to get into a new project. And
so it's people looking, it's not just like a pet sector thing.
No, but then there's these other people. Then there's the people, when it came down to this specific auction, there was the people that just wanted to win to outbid somebody.
Just for the competition?
Yeah, hardly wanted the
Okay.
animal.
What the fuck?
But that's the thing about an auction. A lot of it is that. Then there is people that you're just like, damn, like you just won this and you don't know how to take care of this fucking animal. I had people asking me what monitors ate.
Oh my god.
After winning 3 monitors, just because they could participate in an auction.
I don't like that.
Listen.
And then there was a customer that used to call me like once a month. And he would call me and be like, I'm not gonna say my actual name. He was like, Yoshii, I eat these ball pythons. I love them so much. Thank you so much for sending them. They cuddle up with me in bed. There's one that loves to go under my shirt, and the other ones like to go towards the bottom of my bed. And I love to cuddle with them at night. And then there's that
typical online customer.
No, but
but then we're talking about. But I mean, it becomes the. What is the quality of the customer you're keeping at that point?
I know
that's another part where I'm just like, fuck.
You know what else is gonna pop? I know exactly what is gonna happen because I know people that do it and a specific person that does it, and you'll know once I say what it is. People are gonna go to Palm Street, get deals, and put them on Morph Market.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And I feel like Morph Market benefits at the end of the day, regardless.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So it's like he doesn't even have to compete.
I think he will want to though.
Oh, he will for the fun, for the business side of it. See if he can take it.
I want a
Palm Street sponsorship.
Oh, that'll be fire.
I do.
That'll be cool.
I'm putting that. I'm manifesting that.
Manifest
Okay.
it.
Yeah,
Let's
I
do
do
it.
worry. I have said it in the podcast before. I've never really been a big fan of reptile auctions. I think it hurts the market, but the way that I've seen it work on Palm Street, because it's live
and so many people all at once.
It's different to me. Mm-hmm. I see it different because now it's not just a picture. Because a lot of times it's just a fucking picture. Now it's hey, this is me holding the animal and you're interacting with it. It becomes reality.
Yeah.
Where I feel like there's a different perspective on the thing.
It's like, bro, imagine somebody brings something in from, I don't know, imports, which I fucking hate, but this is the thing. It has no cost to it. Nobody knows the actual price.
Palm
and you put
Street,
it in front of a camera.
Yeah.
You found the cost.
Palm Street doesn't allow wild caught. Strong stance, no wild caught.
Fuck yeah.
Let's go.
Strong stance.
Fuck yeah.
0 wild caught on there.
I love that shit.
Yeah.
I also think that Palm Street, I mean, I could be totally wrong, but I feel like they're like the people buying on Palm Street are a little more like in the reptile thing, if that makes any sense.
Well, they have a specific reptile
exactly,
category.
but what I'm trying to say, it's like you're not necessarily selling to randos on the Palm Streets. It's usually people in the hobby.
The way that it's kind of, from what I understand, is the way that it started was crested gecko sellers like Tiki's were on there, and because of the plant audience mixing with the gecko audience and that kind of crossover, originally it was like plant people being like, oh, I could kind of do that. That doesn't seem too difficult. That doesn't seem out of the realm of the things with the plants that I'm keeping. And it's like, oh, I could have things ambient and this and that. And that was a crossover. And then it evolved into reptile people getting on there.
Yeah.
And then now it's like reptile heavy people that understand what's going on are on there until the general customer base ends up there. And then we'll see what happens there.
Become that, yeah.
Well, we don't know. Only time will tell.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Do you guys have any like personal notes? Anything going on with you guys that you guys want to talk about real quick before we get off?
Mm-hmm.
I had a great weekend, bro.
Why?
I played deal all weekend.
Oh, hell yeah.
My niece stayed over. I don't give. You know what happens every time Tinley passes?
You get sad.
cry.
You get
I
FOMO.
cry. I don't give a fuck, dude. I had such a
Yeah,
great
it's real.
weekend. I took her ice skating. I fucking took her to Ulta. My wife did her nails. It was great. Dude.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I'm
Now,
glad
I
you had a
just
good
got-
weekend.
I just got a diamondback rattlesnake herping.
Yes.
Your
Let's
boy's
go.
back.
I hate you.
Boy's back, but we got a coral snake
You hate
together.
him?
Yes, because
You
I
hate
was
him.
40. I was 40
Yeah.
minutes away from that snake.
Dude, listen.
I was 40 minutes away from.
I
Bliss.
didn't even get to go.
Yeah. Dude,
Okay.
Dude, listen.
Skill issue.
Herping is back for me, bro. Like it got me, dude.
Well,
I
invite
told
me,
Tino,
please, for the love of Christ.
You were at a show, you bitch.
I
Dude,
know.
listen.
Yeah.
I told Tino, I was like, Diamondback guaranteed because my friend who's a god told me Diamondback guaranteed. He's like, no, you can't guarantee that. I was like, motherfucker, I guarantee it right now.
doesn't
He's
trust
like,
the
you can't say
process.
that. He said, no, that's too far. I can't drive all that. I was like, bro, drive Diamondback guarantee. He said, you can't guarantee that. Bro, I'm literally driving after like an hour or so, and then I lean against my steering wheel. I look at my phone. My buddy, who's a god herper, just texts me, you're about to get a Diamondback. I smell it. When I look in front of me, Diamondback in the middle of the road.
That's
so
crazy.
fucking funny,
Dude,
bro.
I had
love
more
it.
Diamondback FOMO than Tinley FOMO.
Dude,
Yeah,
I
real.
I texted him and I was like, got one. He's like,
That's
no
so
way.
funny.
Sent him a picture. Ran out, bro. Got it. I got a hook, Repticon.
Yeah.
From Family Reptiles.
Shout
Yeah.
out.
US Arc people.
Yeah.
And got the Diamondback, took pictures. Like, it was so cool. And then the coral snake.
found
I also
coral.
got a garter and
Yeah, but listen,
ribbons.
you're-
but
you're-
the two targets were
yeah.
gone.
No. You're skipping through the best part of the night.
Oh.
We saw the guy from Hooters in person.
Burrowing owl. Yo, we
Burrowing
saw
owl.
Burrowing owl in the middle of the road.
My night was fixed.
Yeah.
Because I got there late for the Diamondback, and I was like,
This motherfucker bitching over a fucking coral snake.
Okay,
I was
but I
having a
see
great
them all the
time.
time.
I don't
It's
give
different.
a fuck. I don't give a fuck. It's a
no,
cool
bro.
venomous snake.
No,
dude.
I'm not saying it wasn't cool. It was cool as shit because that was the healthiest coral
And
snake
there's
I've
a
seen.
video. It looks like it almost bites me. I'm not posting that.
Wow.
All right,
Oh
that's
my
it. We're
God.
good?
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
was the Reptiles With Podcast.